Yeah, we're just going to look at the different ways of saving files in Photoshop and getting the right sort of file type. Now, if you look at this little JPEG here, it's got all the steps that we need to look at, and that was a really handy reference. But I thought it's good to have it actually done as a video. So we just look at Photoshop. Here we go. I've got an image open. I've got two layers in it. It's actually a negative and a positive mixed together, just for something, a bit of silliness. Now I want to save it. So it's technically it's an untitled image. So if I go File and I just hit Save, it will bring up the option. So it's pinhole copy, which is what it was, a PSD, Photoshop file. And of course, that's what I want it to keep the layers. So I would hit save there. You'll notice it came up as save as. And the reason for that is that it already had been saved as something else. If I'd started it as a blank document, it would have just come up as save. So file, I'd hit save. Save as is another option there. We'll hit save. I want a PSD file, and as you can see, it's a Photoshop PDF, large document format, TIFF or Photoshop. Well, Photoshop's what I want because that's got all the layers in it, so that lets me keep working. So I hit save. Okay, and there it is. It's Photoshop pinhole copy PSD. I could have changed the title if I'd wanted to and called it test save or whatever. Now, just go over and show you the next one. So I hit File, hit Save as a copy. That's an important one. I need this when I want to see a JPEG, which is what we're going to save a lot of stuff as. So pinhole copy to JPEG, it'll go to the desktop. Now the disadvantage of this is it loses the layers. So I'm just going to hit Save there. I'll hit OK. And I'll close it. So if I go and look at my desktop, there's pinhole copy JPEG, pinhole 2 copy JPEG. This is the one up here. So there it is. Open that. There it is. That's a JPEG. Now if I open that in Photoshop, all one layer. Now if I went back to File, just went Open Recent, the PSD file, off there, it's got the layers. So both layers when you save as a Photoshop file, so I can then come back, I can edit that layer off if I wanted to, do whatever I need to do. Whereas the JPEG, it's only the background. I can't do any further editing on the split layers. I could, of course, add more things to it, but I can't sort of undo anything I've already done. That's all locked. So that's the difference. And what we would tend to do, always, we would save our copy as a PSD file so we can go back, undo, edit, and fix things up. So when we get feedback on our work. But when we're uploading it to the Google Classroom, we save it as a JPEG. So you can get into the habit of having two copies of your works saved on your computer. Be a good idea for your photographic works or whatever to have it their own folder so they don't get mixed up with other things. So that's the main difference. Saving as PSD or Photoshop document allows us to keep working on our work, to go back, open it, edit it, and keep creating. I could add another layer in there, I could work on that layer, I can work on the background layer. But when I save it as a JPEG, it compresses it all down, all in one layer, so it locks in whatever I've already done, can't be undone. But this is what you would upload to the Google Classroom, or you might email to someone or just submit as a final work.